Good afternoon, everyone who's tuning in. I just want to thank you for joining us today. We are at Empowered Life Church, and we are joined by our 2020 graduating seniors from Empowered Life Church. Everyone, woo! All right, what's super cool is that these are all three seniors. We only have 3 seniors this year, and they all go to the same high school. Now, I've never had that happen in all the years we have worked with youth, so this is super cool. They go to Foothills High School. They are graduating this year, and as you know, our graduating seniors have had quite the time being pulled from school, having to go online, and now it's in question what's happening with graduation. Are they going to get to walk? Are they going to get to wear their gowns? Prom, all of that. So we are going to sit, we're going to chat with them today. We're just going to have a cool conversation. What's really cool is we have Omari here, we have Jacob, and we have Rihanna, and they are friends also outside of school. And so they'll share some of that. We have, so I'm just gonna dive in so that way they can kind of share what has been going on in their lives and how they're handling all this quarantine. So all right, I'm gonna start with Rihanna. I let her know that. Okay, so Rihanna, I want you to describe your life and schedule before this quarantine. What was going on?
I was like really busy. I'm really involved in sports, and my school life, being a student athlete, was a lot to take in. I was really at school until probably like 9 o'clock at night because I had practices after school all day.
Like every night almost?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't really have like time in between to like just hang out and do other things because I was either doing homework or being like around my friends. So I was just really involved at school.
Okay, Jacob, what was going on in your life?
Definitely, I had a lot of practices after school, and I would go to because I was trying to be a really good hurdler, and I wanted to break the record at my school. And I only had one track meet, so I couldn't really do it anymore. So now it's over.
So you were trying to break the record at school?
Yeah, I was actually pretty close to doing it. So.
Wow, seriously?
A few more races I could have had it.
Okay, so you only got to race once in track?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
And what would your record be? Like what?
The record is a 15.43, and I was going to beat that.
In what?
Oh, the 110 meter hurdles.
110 meter hurdles. Dang. Okay, well, you know, we could still try to beat that record. So, all right, Omari, what was going on in your life?
The same as Ray. I was very acclimated in school and sports, so I didn't really get the chance to really do any of that because of the quarantine. And I was running track. Last year I had torn my hip flexor, so I didn't really get to run as much as last year. So then I thought this year would be like the go-to year, but then.
Did you tear it last year?
Yeah, I tore it last year.
Okay, so you were better this year to go on with track.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what's your track specialty?
110 meter dash, 200, and a 4x1 relay.
Wow. Okay, my daughter Rachel did track for 1 year. She was really good at hurdles, but she didn't continue. All right, so you guys were just busy. How often were you home much?
Yeah.
No.
The times
No.
that we're home,
No.
it was fun though.
Because these two, they're friends at school, and they have a few classes together, they told me. But I said, do you hang out after school? And their answer was, we don't have time. I was like, wow, like to have busy that you don't even have. But I think they were together a lot because your dad is a coach at Foothills High School.
Yeah. So my dad coaches football and girls basketball, and I've been the water girl for the football team for 7 years. So I was normally always around them either way, and I always saw them on Sundays at church too. So I've done track. So I've done track, basketball, dance, water girl, everything basically curricular you can think of. So it was, just a lot.
Yeah. When I hear your guys' schedule, I get exhausted.
Yeah.
So tell me, you guys had plans because you guys were going to be graduating the end of May. And so in April and May, what were plans that you guys had? Like this was going to happen, sports, school, all that. So what were some of your plans, Jacob?
There were some trips to California I missed out on, like with the track team, you know. I was working out a lot because I'm going to college. Like actually June 1st, I'm going up to North Dakota.
You're going to North Dakota on June 1st?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm allowed to, with all the quarantine. But I was just doing a lot to get myself better for what's coming in the fall. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, and you guys had some trips for track planned as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you said you got to do one track meet.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, all right, Omari.
Same. We were supposed to go to Laguna to run track and everything, but I didn't. I actually tore my hip flexor in Laguna too last year, so that's really
Okay.
sad.
And Laguna, California,
Laguna,
the
California.
beach,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
It's beautiful.
we're all missing the beach.
Yeah.
Ain't no one going to the beach right now, so don't feel left out or anything, you know? All right, so I want you guys to share, because I want people to understand that this quarantine has affected, just millions and millions of people all over the world.
Right.
But it has also really affected our 2020 seniors. You guys had plans and dreams that you wanted to do. So when this quarantine shut down, the school shut down, what are some of the emotions you guys were feeling?
I kind of felt like really left out with things because we still had like senior prom and graduation was coming up, and like I was planning to go to college for basketball, but it's hard because now I can't visit colleges. I can't really be around my friends that I was planning to hang out with because I kind of like had a break more during this time. It was like my break session, so I would have been able to like be around my fellow peers, but like I really can't do anything, which makes you really sad, you know? So like sitting in the house all day, like it's really fun being around my family. Like I love my family. We're really tight. That's just something we've always been. And so like not being able to be around others though was kind of just what put you more down towards anything.
So this has affected you and college for next year because you haven't chosen one officially because you weren't able to visit all of them that you had.
Yeah, because I was in contact with many other colleges for basketball to go try for a scholarship to go and play during the fall season and winter season. But it's hard to be able to visit colleges when they're closed down and everybody was at home.
Right.
So.
And I think that's one thing we want to highlight is that it's important. It's not that just they're missing walking for graduation and parties. You guys are missing kind of the next step for your future.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of uncertainty out there.
Yeah.
And that can be very frustrating.
Yeah.
So Jacob, what have been some of your emotions?
At first, I was happy, like
Yeah.
I thought it was just
True.
a few weeks off of school.
Won the
I could do
lottery,
that,
right?
yeah. And then it just wouldn't end, and then everything just started coming real, like really fast, and like a lot of things got canceled in like a few days, and you just start realizing that you're never gonna get this stuff again. And the last time that it happened, you didn't know it was the last. So my first days, they became my last days. So yeah. Yeah.
Now that's good.
Yeah.
Because I think that's so important that he said, our last days, we didn't know were our last days. And that's really huge because we tend to kind of go through life and we just do our normal schedule and we don't realize that.
Take it for granted.
Yeah, we take it for granted. So Omari.
Yeah. I was really happy too. Like, no more school, so I'm just gonna go home, play video games, and just, hey, you wanna go to the park or whatever? But then you realize like, park is shutting down, everything's shutting down, and you realize like, yo, like this is actually like our last time I'm gonna see some of friends, some family. I can't even see my grandmother. Like it's just hard at times. And you just realize like, yeah, like this is real.
Yeah, kind of just kind of like hit a realization point that like you aren't going back to school. Like for us, after they announced that we're not going back to school, it's kind of something that like just hit really hard because you think, oh well, maybe I'll have a few days left to go visit my friends that I might not see after high school.
Right.
Because you don't realize like those last days with your friends in high school, those might not be the friends that you get to see after. Like, but knowing Jacob and Amari, like I know we're gonna be like long-term friends because we're just so close. Like our families have always like been like together all the time. Like I see Jacob probably like every other week. Like that's just something that's like involved with my life because like we're all family. It's just
Yearbook signing day sounds really good right now, right?
Yeah.
You guys would have a lot to say because truth be told, you guys are living through an absolutely historic moment.
Yeah.
So in a way, I know there's all kinds of funny stuff that's being said about the class of 2020. You guys are like, the best senior ditch year ever. There's all kinds of great memes out there. I've seen some of the shirts. I like the toilet paper on the 20. But you guys, this is historic. Like this will be in your kids' history books.
Right.
yeah.
You guys are the first class to ever experience anything like this. Your parents have never experienced this. How does that kind of feel? Is that kind of like, this really sucks? Sorry, that's not a good word, but it's a teen word. Or is it like, you know what, our class is going to be remembered forever? Where are you at on that scale?
I do try to think, like, I try to look at the bright side of things. Like, I can tell, like, my kids, like, yo, like, we lived through one of the most historic events probably ever.
Yeah.
But then you realize you just, like, I don't want this to really happen because it's happening.
Yeah,
So-
it really is kind of settling
Yeah.
because it's the first time it's happened, and it's happening to us. But then you think about it, you know, like I'd rather it not happen to
Yeah.
us. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like you realize like you're that big year, like 2020 was supposed to be like the big year for everybody, like the big change, you know, because we're starting like a new era. And then you realize like one day I'm gonna be able to say, yeah, I mean, I missed some of my senior year, but still it was something like I grew from. Like I got to like get closer with my family, and like we get to talk about things that you don't normally talk about because I'm not normally at home. So like being at home really changes my effect with my family and like being closer.
Yeah, like
And that moves into the next question. So how have you grown? What is something that you recognize, you realize you benefited from this quarantine?
Yeah,
Amari?
this quarantine like actually like made me like realize that don't ever take life for granted, like ever. And then because you will miss a lot of the things that you would have thought that you would have been doing if this quarantine would have happened. So you just like start like reminiscing like I don't know the word for it really, but you just start to realize like yeah, like I really do miss, you know, able to go out and like not be able to wear a mask, so and always stand 6 feet apart from everybody, and remember to always wash your hands, like all like the little things.
I think we all just want to go down a slide.
Yeah, there's times I just want to touch something like but like not really.
Truth be told,
Yeah.
we're rebels, all of us.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you tell us we can't do something, and all of a sudden we want to play on that kid's playground.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me I can't go down that slide or swing on that swing. Like, all of a sudden, that's the most important thing we want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you do grow as a person out of this quarantine. Like you start like getting like real responsibility.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
Yeah.
you just like you underestimate like being able to be close to someone.
Yeah.
Like being able to give somebody a hug or like even just like shake them up when you see them or a high five after they do something good. Like you can't even like touch anybody. Like
Yeah, I
you
can
just
like
can't
fist
even
bump everybody now.
Yeah,
It
like
sucks.
you don't even have like a physical like connection. Like you can't make them feel achieved for what they've done without just using words.
so Jacob, you're a teenage boy. Are you missing all the hugs? You know, I have girls, and for a couple of them, I have to beg for hugs. So, you know, after a while, when you're told you can't do it again, you're like, so what have you grown or kind of seen a benefit of in this quarantine?
I've definitely matured more, you know, but also a lot of time I spent with my family, I got to really know them more because, as Rihanna said, you're always busy, you know, you don't get that much time with your family. Now you don't have another choice, you know, you're with them all the time, and I love it, you know. It's great to be able to spend time with your family, especially before leaving to go to college for 4 or 5 years, you know. So yeah, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Maybe this, because your guys' generation, because you guys are officially generation, I don't know, X, Y, whatever.
Gen
Z? Gen Z, okay. And there's a lot of, you know, downplay that's not the millennials or Gen Z, and I'm like, I don't think you guys like being called that. Do you like being called Gen Z, or?
I don't have.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of cool to
Yeah.
be honest. Like, who else do you think would be able to be called like Generation Z? Like, that's just something.
I don't like the negative part of it.
Right, the negative connotation
Yeah,
of it.
definitely. 'Cause
Like,
there's,
you guys are spoiled and entitled and
Yeah.
always on your phones
I
and all
mean,
of that.
if you're gonna be honest though, some of us are pretty spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be honest, but like
Well.
it does have like a bad rep to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, you guys didn't have to call a friend being attached to a cord in the kitchen where your
Yeah.
parents could hear you.
Yeah.
Just saying, that wasn't really fun, but honestly, I'm so glad I didn't have texting because, you know, that would have just not been,
Cool.
Yeah.
that would have not been great.
I just think like our generation takes advantage of like what we have. Like, we take everything in and then we use it in different ways that not everything is good. So like we kind of do get the perspective of like negative things, like we do too much texting or we're always on our phone, But like we didn't really grow up with the connection of, oh, I have to walk across the street to go say hi to my neighbor. Like you don't go and you give somebody gifts. You can get like off Amazon and put their address in it. Like it just makes a difference.
Easier. Everything's
Yeah.
easier.
You guys definitely have it, like, it's very different. Parenting is very different. But do you see that your generation having this complete pause, how it really could transform into your generation also just being one of the greatest
Yeah.
and most resilient? Do you
definitely
see
see
that? Like,
I definitely see it.
I
I do.
Yeah.
Very much.
because I think you guys, even as parents, this can translate into you guys are getting to see, like, maybe, do you feel like you were too busy?
I feel like
Mm.
I
No,
wasn't.
you liked everything you were doing?
I feel like I just kept myself occupied until I got home, and then, I mean, there was times where I'm just, like, I come home from practice, I'm, like, super achy, so I'll just go to my room, take a shower, and just be like, all right, good night, don't talk to me, or whatever. But then, it does, like, pay off, because they'll come to your games, they'll come to your meets, and you're just like, I did what I had to do to make them proud, you know?
I feel like being busy like made us feel more accomplished in a way. So like going to my basketball games and winning, I can see my mom's face in the stands of her looking at me after my games like,
Right.
oh my gosh, like this is so great. Like it's not like a moment that you miss. Like I really miss
Yeah,
those moments.
But now you just have different moments.
Yeah, like we have like different like connection moments. Like we play board games, we make breakfast in the morning. My nephews stay the night at my house, and we just kind of we have moments of where you look at each other and you're like, I really love you. Like you're somebody like I'm so happy that God blessed me to have you in my life.
Yeah, I do look at my mom like, I'm lucky to have you.
Aww.
I do.
Aw, did you hear
I
that?
do.
Okay, you need to say that again
I
and
do.
louder.
I mean, there are times where I actually like do look at my mom. Like she'll be playing with the dog, and I'd be like, I really do appreciate you, dude. I don't say it. I need to say it more, but I do. I say to my mom like, I do appreciate you.
As a mom, can you say that? Say that to, like, tell your parents.
Yeah.
You know, I think they love you. And speaking of parents, like, this is tough on your parents.
Oh, yeah.
This
Right.
is really tough, them not being able to celebrate how they always dreamed of celebrating. Like, I think it's important that we recognize that just the overall effect of you guys being seniors and your parents are like, you know, wanting to go down there and strangle the principal
Yeah.
and try to make something happen. It's tough on parents. So,
It
yeah,
is.
definitely we want to give a shout out to our parents for sure.
Thank you
Ah.
for everything.
And so let me ask you a scripture verse. I had asked you guys what's a scripture verse that you that has really just been a strength to you during this time. Mari?
Philippines 4-13. It's I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I always just live by that, even when football games, anything, tests. I just feel like if you pray, it will be answered. And yeah, I even have a chain. I usually like wear it before any meet, football game, basketball game, whatever. I usually just pray before the game and come out healthy, hopefully. And then, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like that one too because I've always thought about that one. Like whenever I go through something hard in life, because I know God won't put me through anything that He knows I can't handle. So that's kind of what that verse means to me. And so this quarantine, whatever, ruined my senior year. I know God is strengthening me in some way, but it's just not the typical way He usually does it. And so that's how I look at it.
Gotcha.
That.
So right now during this quarantine, I've done a lot of like Bible study, reading my Bible, trying to understand the scriptures in the way God wanted me to. And so I use 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 15. It said, the Lord says, don't be afraid, don't be discouraged by this mighty army, for the battle is not yours but God's. Is the verse that I use because I realized that it's not, we're going through the battle with Jesus, but at the same time, He is showing us that He's opening doors for us that we never knew were open. Like, He makes us think like, well, yeah, you had it great, but you always have to go through something to realize that you will become stronger in a certain way. So with my family, we've done a lot of sitting down, looking back at like, yeah, I mean, our days were good. We're thankful for everything we have, but the days after this are going to be something that you will never forget.
That is true. I believe that in your guys'
Preach.
yeah, that's right,
Preach.
man, Rihanna. Preach it, girl. All right, so I want to ask you guys one last question. how can you guys, because you're the 2020 graduating seniors that are making history, how can you guys encourage other seniors that are out there, your classmates, your friends, but even adults that are really just having a hard time right now? How can you guys, what can you say to encourage them that you are just learning and growing and just realizing, you can't do anything about this, so what is it? What is it you want to encourage them with?
I just encourage everybody to stay strong and healthy and to kind of focus on themselves and their family around them, because they will be the closest people that you will know at the end of the day. They'll always be there for you. And so I just encourage you to keep a positive energy around you and others, so that everybody reflects it back onto each other.
Family's all you really have, so spend your time with your family, get to know them more. Use this time to better yourself, because it's all part of God's plan, and everything's going to be good when He decides it is. And so just use this time to strengthen yourself, get better, be a better person, reflect on your life. Just use the time to do you,
Don't let this quarantine define pretty much this year. Yeah. Always keep a positive, always think of the positive of this quarantine. I should go for this run. I should start working out. I should learn, as my mom said, I should learn how to cook and everything. She just always look at, you have 24 hours in a day, so don't just waste it on nothing.
Yeah.
Don't just, because I usually wake up at 12 and do whatever homework I need to do and then start sleeping again. But this quarantine is actually there's a positive note on it. Yeah. So do something productive.
Going off of Mari, try to keep yourself sane, I guess you could say, and stay calm and try to keep your body right and benefit yourself in a way that once this is over, you'll be happy with the way you feel and you'll be able to move forward with the person you have created yourself to be now.
Yeah, the summer's not over. Get that summer body,
True.
Summer's not over. Get that summer body. Summer's not over.
Get that summer body.
Yeah.
What he's saying is stop eating and get out and exercise.
Yeah.
So, I think the class of 2020 is going to be one of the greatest classes moving forward. Even though you guys are unsure about what your fall looks like, you're unsure about a lot of things, but I think that testimonies are so powerful. But I think testimonies can be even more powerful when we're actually going through it with them, when we're still in the storm and people are seeing how you're handling it while you're actually in the storm. And you guys are still in the storm. Graduation is supposed to be 4 weeks away for you guys. Prom was going to be, you guys are still here. And your attitude and your heart and the growth you're learning from it, that's a huge testimony that we want people to see. I want to see the class of 2020 rise up and just be the most resilient people ever. And just imagine that you guys get to be a part of that. I think there's always greatness that comes out of tragedy, out of disappointment. And I think when we recognize it, it makes us incredible people. And I challenge you guys and everyone out there to really do that. Just be resilient and encourage others, and people will be like, wow, it'll be incredible. And we know that God's going to take care of you guys in the fall. Yeah. Absolutely. I believe that. And I wanted to share this scripture. This is Psalms 62. And it's 1 through 2. Truly my soul finds rest in God. My salvation comes from Him. Truly He is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will never be shaken. And I think right now the world is shaken, and we're ready for it to be done. But I think when we just trust, man, God can do incredible, incredible things. And I think you guys are amazing. Give a shout out to our Empowered Life Church 2020 seniors. They did great up here. And we just wanted to give them an opportunity to share what they've been going through as we just reach out. We want to do one last thing with them. As corny as it may seem, grab your soda because we are going to do a toast to our graduating seniors this year. And which one did you want, Amari? Okay. All right, so I already opened the caps, so they shouldn't spill all over. And we are just going to do this because we just want to celebrate. Everyone's still figuring out what we're going to be doing for parties, all that type of thing. But you know what? We just want to give a shout out. These guys are amazing. All of our 2020 graduating seniors are incredible for what they're going through. So here's to them, everyone. And just say, and if you know a senior, congratulate them. Congratulate these guys when you see them next time. They're awesome. We thank you, guys. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And all right, here's to class 2020.